Hello students, we are in our third and last session of electrochemistry regarding these four topics. In our second session, three problems were given as HW or homework. Hope you all are able to solve those problems. If anyone having any query, let's follow these steps. First, you need to read the questions carefully. Then you need to write the given data. Here in question number 1, kappa is given and concentration is given. You need to write those first. Then you need to write the equation. We know that lambda m is equals to kappa into 1000 divided by C when kappa is given in Siemens centimeter inverse unit. So then you need to put these values and you will get the correct answer. Same, you need to write the given data, then the exact or the proper equation, then putting the value, you will get the final answer. And the last one, deriving SI base unit of resistance, the answer is kg meter square divided by second cube and ampere square. In this session, we are going to discuss about variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration for strong electrolytes as well as for weak electrolytes. The conductance of the solution was depends on the amount of ions or the number of ions present in the solution. We know what are strong electrolytes and what are weak electrolytes. Just revise. There are some electrolytes which dissolve and dissociate completely into ions. Those are called strong electrolytes. And examples are NaCl, KCl, HCl, KNO3, etc. It has good conductance. On the other hand, there are some electrolytes which are dissolved but dissociate partially into ions and has low conductance. Those are called as weak electrolyte. Example, acetic acid, ammonium hydroxide, LiOH, etc. Now, variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration. In one line, we can say conductivity of an electrolyte decreases with the decrease in concentration for both weak electrolyte and strong electrolytes, whereas molar conductivity increases with decrease in concentration. Alternatively, we can say upon dilution, that means decrease in concentration. Dilution means decrease in concentration. Specific conductance or conductivity decreases while molar conductivity increases and vice versa. Now you need to go through these NCERT pages. For building up your concept, you need to read more and more books. Now we are going to see some simulation. Students, see carefully. Some water is taken as solvent and we are going to add some molecules of NaCl into it. As you can see, NaCl molecules dissociate fully to give corresponding ions. Now, but if we add some more molecules, then some molecules remain undissociated as product of concentration of ions exceed the solubility product or KSP value. Now, if I add a little amount of solvent, then you can clearly see that all the molecules get dissociated. If we take some weak electrolyte, we are just decreasing the amount of solvent. Now add some weak electrolyte. We can see some molecules get dissociated and most of the molecule remains undissociated. Now if we add some solvent, let's see, with increase in the amount of solvent, the molecules get dissociated. What does it mean? It means with decrease in concentration, degree of dissociation increases. That is, degree of dissociation increases with decrease in concentration for strong as well as weak electrolyte. But for weak electrolyte, this effect is more significant. First, we are focusing on variation of specific conductance with dilution. Specific conductance of the solution is the conductance due to 1 centimeter cube of the solution. We already seen that in our previous lessons. Now, as the solution is diluted, the following changes occur. Number 1, degree of ionization increases, therefore number of ion increases. You can clearly see in last simulation. Next one is the number of ions per centimeter cube decreases since volume increases. So go through this line properly. Degree of ionization increases, therefore number of ions increases. Next one is the number of ion per unit volume, that means per centimeter cube, decreases since volume increases. So the effect of increase in number of ions due to increase in ionization and increase in mobility due to decrease in intraionic interaction is far less than the decrease in density of ions due to dilution. Thus, the number of ions per unit volume decreases on dilution. So, overall effect is decrease in specific conductance with increase in dilution for strong and weak electrolyte.
Variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration. Variation of conductivity with concentration. Conductivity refers to conductance of 1 centimeter cube of the electrolyte. With the increase in dilution, the number of ions present in 1 centimeter cube of the solution decreases. Conductivity of the electrolytic solution also decreases as the dilution increases.
Next, we are focusing on variation of molar conductivity with concentration for strong and weak electrolytes. If we plot the experimental data in lambda m versus root C graph, we will get this kind of curves. From this, we can easily say that for all electrolytes, weak and strong, molar conductance increases on dilution, that is decrease in the concentration. But the pattern are different. The variation is, however, different for strong and weak electrolytes. In case of strong electrolytes, molar conductivity increases slowly with dilution, and there is a tendency for molar conductivity to approach a certain limiting value when the concentration approaches 0. That is, when the dilution is infinite. When the concentration approaches 0, that is infinite dilution, then the molar conductivity is called molar conductivity at infinite dilution, and it is denoted by lambda m naught or lambda m 0 when C tends to 0. On the other hand, the variation of lambda m with root c in case of weak electrolyte is very large, and so much so that we cannot obtain molar conductance at infinite dilution by extrapolation of the curve.
Variation of molar conductivity with concentration. Lambda m values of strong electrolytes are larger than those of weak electrolytes for the same concentration. Molar conductivity of electrolytes increases with dilution. Relative increase in the value of lambda m for strong electrolyte is quite small as compared to that for weak electrolytes.
The behavior of weak electrolyte can be understood through this. In case of weak electrolytes, dissociation of the molecules into ions are increased on dilution. The molar conductance of the solution depends on the number of ions, therefore increased on dilution. That means when we decrease the concentration, that means increase in dilution, degree of dissociation increases, so number of molecule dissociated or number of ion present in solution increases. That's why molar conductance increases for weak electrolyte. The solution at particular dilution, almost all molecules of electrolyte get dissociated, and therefore molecular conductance increases sharply. On further dilution, each ions moves freely in the solution, therefore conductance increases sharply. For strong electrolytes, they are nearly dissociate completely into ions at all concentration and has larger or higher molar conductance at any concentration. The variation of molar conductance with concentration is linear and is increasing slowly with dilution. The molar conductance decreases on increasing the concentration. Can be explained with the help of Debye-Huckel theory. This variation can be explained by using equation lambda equals to lambda 0 minus b root c. We can compare this equation with straight line equation having negative slope, that is y equals to minus mx plus c type. Debye-Huckel theory of conductance of strong electrolyte. The molar conductance of strong electrolytes varies linearly with root c. Mathematically, it can be represented by the equation lambda equals to lambda 0 minus b root c, where lambda 0 is the limiting conductance and b is constant. To explain the decrease in molar conductance of strong electrolytes with concentration can be explained by Debye-Huckel by introducing new concept called ionic atmosphere. Due to ionic attraction, each ion in the solution was surrounded by opposite charged ions. However, in concentrated solution of strong electrolytes, there are strong force of attraction between the ions of opposite charges. That is called interionic forces. Due to these interionic forces, the conducting ability of the ion is less in concentrated solution for strong electrolyte. But with dilution, the ions become far apart from one another and interionic forces decreases. As a result, molar conductivity increases with dilution for strong electrolyte.
Graphical representation of molar conductivity with concentration. KCl is a strong electrolyte and CH3COOH is a weak electrolyte. A graphical representation shows the variation of molar conductivity with concentration. In case of strong electrolytes, when the concentration approaches zero, the molar conductivity attains a definite value known as limiting molar conductivity. It is denoted by lambda not m. In the case of weak electrolytes such as acetic acid, there is no indication that the limiting value can be attained, because when concentration approaches zero, the graph becomes almost parallel to the y-axis.
Kohlrausch obtained very interesting pattern between the values of lambda 0 for different strong electrolytes. It was observed that the difference of lambda m0 of different pair of electrolytes having a common cation or a common anion was almost same. For example, the difference between the molar conductance of potassium plus and sodium plus ion is 23.4 ohm inverse centimeter square mole inverse irrespective of the ion. That means if we take lambda 0m for KCl and lambda 0m for NaCl, and the difference is 23.4. If we take lambda 0m for KBr and lambda 0m for NaBr, then also the difference is 23.4. On the other hand, if you take lambda 0m for KNO3 and lambda 0m for NaNO3, then also the difference is 23.4. Similarly, the difference between the molar conductivities of chloride and nitrate ion, and you can say bromide and chloride ions, are same for different set of pair. This led him to postulate a law known as Kohlrausch law of independent migration of ions. This law states that at infinite dilution, when dissociation of an electrolyte is completed and interionic effects are absent, ions are migrates independently in the solution and contributes a definite and constant value of the molar conductance of the electrolyte. So we can say that lambda 0 values of any electrolyte equals to sum of lambda 0 values of ions in the solution at same T and solvent. Kohlrausch law is used to calculate lambda m0 of the weak electrolyte when molar conductance of the strong electrolyte is plotted against root C. It is a straight line, and if we extrapolate that line, we will get lambda 0 m for a strong electrolyte. But the graph of lambda versus root C of weak electrolyte is not linear. Therefore, lambda 0 of the weak electrolyte was not calculated from the graph. To know or to calculate the lambda 0m for weak electrolyte, we can apply Kohlrausch law of independent migration. In general, if an electrolyte on dissociation gives nu plus cation and nu minus number of anion, then its limiting molar conductivity is given by lambda m0 is equals to nu plus lambda 0 plus nu minus lambda 0 minus. Here lambda 0 plus and lambda 0 minus are the limiting molar conductivities of the cation and anion respectively. The values of lambda 0m for some cations and anions at 298 K are given in the table 3.4 in your NCERT book. Next topic is Kohlrausch law of independent migration and its application. First application is we can calculate lambda m0 for weak electrolyte. How? Consider a weak electrolyte Ha. It will dissociate like H plus A minus. According to the Kohlrausch law, lambda 0 HA should be lambda 0 H plus lambda 0 A minus. Suppose NaA is the salt of acid and is strong electrolyte. So it will dissociate like Na plus A minus. So lambda 0 of Na is equals to lambda 0 of Na plus lambda 0 of A minus. Now lambda 0 of A minus is equals to lambda 0 of Na minus lambda 0 of Na plus. Now HCl is strong acid, therefore HCl dissociate like H plus Cl minus. So lambda 0 HCl is equals to lambda 0 H plus lambda 0 Cl minus. And we can say lambda 0 of H plus is equals to lambda 0 of HCl minus lambda 0 of Cl minus. Now from equation 1, 2 and 3 we can write lambda 0 of HA is equals to lambda 0 of HCl minus lambda 0 of Cl minus plus lambda 0 of Na minus lambda 0 of Na plus. So solving this kind of equation, we can easily calculate the lambda 0 m for weak electrolyte for any given set of data. Second application is determination of dissociation constant of a weak electrolyte, that is alpha. So the formula is alpha is equals to lambda m divided by lambda 0 m. Lambda m divided by lambda 0 m. Using these, you can also calculate the dissociation constant of weak electrolyte. Ka is the dissociation constant. If Ha is a weak electrolyte, then it will dissociate like H plus A minus. Then the dissociation constant Ka should be concentration of H plus into concentration of A minus divided by concentration of H. So in our ionic equilibrium chapter, we can see that K equals to alpha square into C divided by 1 minus alpha. And already we are getting the formula alpha is equals to lambda m divided by lambda 0 m. So putting this value of alpha into the equation of K, we can easily calculate K for any weak electrolyte. Using Kohlrausch law, you can also able to calculate the solubility of sparingly soluble salts. Now we are going to solve some numerical problems. First one is calculate lambda 0 m for CaCl2 and MgSO4 from the data given in table 3.4. We know from Kohlrausch law that lambda m0 for CaCl2 is equals to lambda 0 Ca2 plus 2Cl minus. So already the lambda 0 values for corresponding ions are given in the table. So just you need to put the value and calculate the lambda 0 m. Next question is lambda 0 m for NaCl, HCl and NaAC, that is acetate, sodium acetate, are given respectively. You need to calculate the lambda 0 m for HAC, that is acetic acid. So it is very easy. As we can see in our first application slide, we need to use the same concept here to solve this kind of problem. Next one is the conductivity of 0.001028 mole liter inverse acetic acid is 4.95 into 10 to the power minus 5 Siemens centimeter inverse. Calculate its dissociation constant if lambda 0m for acetic acid is 390.5 Siemens centimeter square mole inverse. So lambda 0m is given. We need to find out the dissociation constant, that is Ka. For that reason we need to calculate alpha first. So lambda m is equals to kappa by C, and alpha is equals to lambda m by lambda 0m. As kappa is given in Siemens centimeter inverse, we need to apply the formula 1000 kappa by C. So using the formula 1000 kappa by C, we will get the value of lambda m, and lambda 0m is given. So alpha is lambda m divided by lambda 0m. After getting the value of alpha, we need to put that value in the equation of dissociation constant as we see in the second slide of application portion of Kohlrausch law. Now these are the problems to be solved. First you try and then you can see the solution. Here another problem is there. First you try and then you will get the solution here. Now you try to solve this in text question, and best of luck.